Should it worry those in power that Kenyans, despite having elected members of parliament to represent them in that house through delegated responsibility, that Kenyans don't trust these individuals to do a thorough job and demand to be in those spaces to look at the fine details that their elected members of parliament are working on? Why do I say that? Because Kenyans today will say these individuals have gone into a certain room to make decisions for us, forgetting that they are the ones who elected them. Does that paint a picture of lack of trust?
Well, it does. I think, to be honest, the absence of trust has less to do with the budget than more to do with how the budget is, people see the budget, resources being used, and so forth. Mm-hmm. So it is less of the process, but more so of the results that people expect out of the budget. And therefore, as I say, in the current prevailing environment, it may be that, again, in the kind of season we are in now, which is very political and toxically political, then, that mistrust is to be there. And of course, again, let's go back again to the whole issue of representation. Of course, there is parliament, and then, of course, there are these civil society organizations. Okay, and because of course the ordinary person, other than when you people go on in the streets and start interviewing them, they don't really have a chance because even when we talk about the forums for public participation, you have to ask yourself who actually is got the moment to go there. It's not Wanchiko really or Atieno has really the opportunity, to go to that place in that town hall and make their voice heard. It would need, first of all, there would need to be more mobilization than happens at the moment. Number two, there would be need for more time. These people would need to be in account, for example, for a week, really to get enough of what you would call a representative sample of people who are talking. So so it's a dilemma which I don't think is easy to address.
So going in, the people are not represented. Coming out of the thing, the people are not represented. So where exactly are the people represented? In a budget that is made by members of parliament whose primary role is to represent the people. This is vis-a-vis a conversation that is in the public at the moment, that the members of parliament that are currently in session are doing the bidding for the executive to a large extent. How do you play those things? Those are realities, and that's the thing about how government policy and politics play one against another.
Okay, sometimes we have to look at this lens. Parliament is an institution for democracy. Kenya did not invent democracy. Kenya has inherited democracy, and even you look at the constitution, we have copied many things from other dispensations.
Indeed.
But let us agree, even in a place like US, okay, the budget, if you look very clearly, is not very different between Kenya and America in terms of how the budget issues go, because or in any country, even in Britain, there's always the ruling party with its members of parliament, okay? And that is how the democracy is supposed to work. Therefore, the ruling party with its parliamentary group, okay, generally speaking, drive the budget in any country.
Within the law.
Oh, within the law, yes. For sure. Within the law, that is why the budget is going to be debated in Parliament, so that the Finance Act is moved. Now, within that law, to the extent that the ruling party has majority, and they have also the leadership of the country, in any country, then the budget is passed on the basis of that majority. That is the essence of democracy.